What's up, everybody? It's A7X Van Ben with another fleet making video. This one is going to be called Universal Pirate Swan. So this is one that I used the modified version of in a 6-player 60-point game that was pretty memorable in the 2022 October PNW Pacific Northwest Pirates Weekend. And this is going to be the standard version of it, a 40-point version that I haven't used quite yet, that I'm looking forward to trying out. So I'm just gonna maybe do a little draft of the description here. So it might sound familiar. Universal Pirate Shipping is usually the name for UPS, and this is going to be a fleet that does use that strategy, but it's with the Black Swan instead of the High Pang or Banshee's Cry. So I'm just calling it Universal Pirate Swan just to change up the name a little bit. So we're going to add our main ship here. Black Swan, this is the ship that's going to carry the infamous 058 Captain Jack Sparrow, who's pretty much the best named crew in the game, at least for winning standard competitive games. And the reason we're using the Black Swan is because she can have crew of any nationality use their abilities on the ship. So that's key because it allows us to add a crew that prevents us from being shot at while docked. Bianco's haulers from Savage Shores. And I think I have used this fleet actually against Captain Vendari on Vassal. I might look it up real quick just to see if I see it there. So it's a really, maybe not. I don't know. Interesting. I'll have to check it out. I'll put the battle report if I find it, but so Captain Jack Sparrow, Bianco's haulers, Helmsman Explorer Oarsman, and then Captain Jack Sparrow links to all pirate ships. So therefore, she'll still have a cargo space open, which you may or may not need, but it's nice to have one available either way. So we're just going to complete the basic setup here. So this will get her up to SSS speed. 3 S's. The Explorer will be the key for allowing her to redock after hidden coving out to the nearest unexplored wild island on the first turn. And it also gets us to 13 points. So this is a really good ship for this. She's got the ability, and 13 points is exactly what we need to finish this setup. It's got 10 points of pirate crew, and then the Spanish crew for 13, and that gets us to 26 total. And now we're going to add our typical Patagonia combo. So she can be sending home 2 coins per turn instead of 1. So we're just going to add that real quick here. Bratley, Robinson, Micron. This will also give us access to build English forts. So that can be nice. The pirate ones are usually good enough, but it's good to have Ramsgate and Fort Brompton available too, because they're pretty good forts as well. So we've got that combo now. Now we're at 36, and we still need some trading abilities. So we're going to add the Core. Most of it's a pretty typical UPS build beyond the ship change and Bianco's haulers getting added. So I think the big weakness of this fleet, or potential weakness, is that there's not a lot of crew that you can trade out to the island, since Black Swan and that setup is more expensive than most. Like the cheapest UPS setup is 10 points. Banshee's Cry, Captain Jack Sparrow, Explorer. Or at least that's pretty much the cheapest. So this one's 26 total, which is more than even most high pang setups, or pretty much all high pang setups that are used with the Universal Pirate Shipping strategy. So, and then the Oarsman I'll probably make pirate, I think. Kawar, Aristide, Al-Ra. Al-Ra allows Aristide to come aboard, kind of similar to Robinson with Micron. And I think we should make the Oarsman pirate. That way, if Black Swan loses hers, she can have another one. Or since she has that cargo space open, due to Jack Sparrow's link, Captain Jack Sparrow's link, 5 cargo minus 4 that take up space. So 1 cargo space. Oh, well, she'd be over the point limit, so she wouldn't be able to load one. But either way, I think I'd rather have them be pirate oarsmen. So that way, if she loses one in a boarding party or something like that, or if Angelica comes after her or something, she could replace that oarsman. So, okay, and then we've got Hidden Cove as well. So now we're at 43 points. So I'll just put plus 2 points for Hidden Cove. Typical UPS setup there. So we've got our UPS variant going. And then, yeah, so the +5 choices could be a little bit interesting in terms of what you bring in with Bratley. You could leave Maurice Aristide out in favor of events. Like if your opponent has a couple events in their starting fleet and you think one of them might be mermaids or be calmed, those ones shouldn't be too bad, because mermaids you have to play on a non-docked ship, and ideally all 3 ships will be docked like every turn, and then be calmed might not be a problem if you've got oarsmen available. So, which the Black Swan has one to start the game. So either way though, you might want to bring in some other events with Bratley rather than Aristide, but as a default, I'm going to keep the +2 ability in our fleet. I think that's the biggest weakness of this fleet, is you can only trade, you'd only have 2 oarsmen to trade. So after the first turn, it gets pretty tight on crew. You can trade Aristide, but then you don't get the +2 on that 3rd coin. So there's an argument to be made for leaving the Black Swan's oarsmen on the home island to start the game. And of course, one of these would also start the game on the home island, so the core doesn't go over on cargo space, because she's already got 3 taken up. But you could leave Black Swan, one of her oarsmen, on the home island, or even get rid of the helmsman. It's kind of a weird idea. I think I'd rather keep the helmsman though. Maybe leave the oarsman at the home island. I think if Becalmed is not played against you, you know what, I'm going to put this into the description too. That's actually that actually might be key. I'm going to put that down here. If Becalmed is not played against you immediately, like if you go second, the opponent has an opportunity to play Becalmed and freeze your ships before you start playing, before you get your first turn. So if they do that, you can get around it by putting an oarsman on the Black Swan via the free transfer rules, Hidden Cover out, and then move normally, because she can move while derelict. But if you go first, you don't have that problem at all. So if Becomes not played against you on the first turn, leave Black Swan's oarsman on HI in order to have 3 crew, 3 oarsmen to swap via CGS. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And then I still got to add a few UTs. So yeah, there's a chance Grand Barnacle could be a good one too. She's a little bit less accurate than Black Swan. It's a very similar ship. So Grand Barnacle basically gives you less accuracy, but you get 1 more cargo space. So Black Swan is kind of a classic ship too, and she looks really cool. So I don't really see, especially because Black Swan is starting the game with the cargo space open, I don't really see the need for the extra cargo. I guess it could be good, because then when you run out of crew to swap, you'd have an extra space for a coin that you'd be bringing back. But if we're able to swap 3 before we have to swap Aristide, that's up to 4 coins max that we could swap. That's a decent amount. With the first 3 getting +2, ideally you would win based on those first 3. If each one was worth between 3 and 4 gold, like if it was like 4, 4, 2, that'd be 10. And if each got +2, that'd be +6 total, and then you'd have 16. So it depends on what treasures you get, but ideally you'd be able to win swapping 3 coins, or on the 4th one, you definitely would want to be winning. Even if you wouldn't get that +2. If you swap Aristide, you wouldn't get the +2 on that 4th coin, but odds are pretty decent you'll have a good amount of gold then. So, and this fleet actually has access to a lot of forts. So since we have core, we can add the best fort in the game. And then I'm also just going to add the pirate forts and English forts. I'm going to leave St. Pierre off just because I don't think it's super likely to be used. That's the other French fort, but it's not very good, especially compared to Paradis. So we're just going to leave that one out. Because realistically, you're not going to build more than 2 forts, most likely. And even then, you probably only build 1. So we're just going to make sure to have them available basically. So, and we've got some UTs. This is where it's a little bit debatable what to do with unique treasures. I put Jailhouse Dog, Relics, and then maybe other ones. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. You could also gamify the coin distribution. If you put in, you could try to gamify it so that if you get 3 of the gold value coins that you put in, you would have 16. This is where this gets like really gamey. I mean, it's all just theoretical because you have no idea what your opponent's going to put in. You might find like all zeros at the first island, or just a bunch of negative UTs, or you might not find any of your coins right away. But the least you can do is control what you put in. So if we put in 4, 4, 4, 3, that would be 12 and 3, 15. And then we have 4 unique treasures. That way, if you got 4, 4, and 3, that would be 11. And then if you're getting +2 on each of those first 3 coins, like we talked about earlier, that'd be +6 overall, which would be 17. So that's kind of an interesting way to gamify it. And so like, for example, here I've got 3 UTs listed as possibilities. So I might add another one, like Marksman's Map or something. I don't know. Just to increase the average value of the coins we contribute. So then instead, what I'm worried about is if we put in 5 3s and we only get 3s, 3 of those is not enough. That'd be 15. 3 plus 2 is 5 times 3 is 15, which is not enough to win. So I think I'd rather put in like 4s mostly. So you could put in 3 4s and a 3, and then we'll just have one more UT. I guess I'll include Barbary Banner because that one's going to be worth 5, loaded by a non-course airship. I recently saw Xerix brought something similar to my attention about the abilities that modify gold values. I don't agree with it. It's in the code about how they don't apply to unique treasures. I gotta find this real quick. Yeah, which I don't understand why, but oh well. So for official rules, you can't get the +2 on a UT like Barbary Banner, which is strange. But anyway, I think that's a great candidate for a house rule. But anyway, so we'll add the UTs. I'll put in Jailhouse Dog. This one is mostly to eliminate a negative UT. So if your opponent finds Plague and then they're coming after the Black Swan, before you can trade enough treasures home, you could flip this and take out the Plague, save Captain Jack Sparrow. Maybe the dog has rabies or something, or maybe I don't know. I guess the dog is like a plague sacrifice. It's a brutal game, so oh well. Relics is a defensive UT that can help out the Black Swan survive a little bit longer. And then, yeah, I'll put the banner in. So Barbie Banner worth 5 if loaded by a non-course airship. And we'll do, I'll just do Marksman's Map. I don't know. This last UT might change. You could do like an abandoned crew, but you'd rather have that on your home island than the wild island. So yeah, you could do like abandoned musketeer maybe, because then Black Swan could have it in case of wolves. I think I'd rather have that. That's a tough one. Or you could have both, and then the average value of a coin goes up to 5 if you only have 3 non-UT coins. But either way, if we do 443, if we find only our coins, we'd have 17 with the +2. So I think I'll just do Marksman's Map for now, and then we'll see how this fleet does. I think I'll start with this, and then if it doesn't do well, or if I think it would be better with something like an abandoned musketeer, then I can always add that later. Either add it or swap out the map or something else like the banner for abandoned musketeer or potentially some other UT. But I think this is a good start though. So like I said, it could be a little bit weak that you don't have as many crew to trade as other UPS fleets, but it should still do decently well. And I guess it could be hard to get +2 on every coin. That's kind of where the strategy that I used in the turn 1 victory fleet kind of comes into play. So on the first turn, ideally you would cove out Black Swan, send a coin home to core. Core unloads it right away for +2. That way you get the +2 on each coin. So then the second action, Patagonia sacrifices her action to Black Swan. She sends another coin home. You start turn 2 with core already having a coin aboard. Her action to unload, get the +2. Black Swan gets her regular action, sends another coin home. Core now has a third coin, and now Patagonia gives her action on the second round to core to unload the third coin that gets the +2. So it's kind of like Micron's going to be giving different, he's going to be giving his action to different ships potentially to optimize the unloading process and sequence basically. So that pretty much does it for this Universal Pirate Swan fleet. Well, I guess not quite. Islands, I put 4L apart. So that's a little bit less than 6S, which is the maximum speed of Black Swan here because she's got triple S speed, but that's doubled with Micron if she gets an extra action. So 6S is a little bit more than 4L. So 4L is a good distance. You don't really want to go too much shorter than that because an opponent might be gunning for Black Swan or coming after her. I know Kevin Vendari made a fleet designed to counter this with a canceller on Soleil Royale. So if your opponent has a canceller, Bianco's Haulers is going to be probably useless. But if they don't, then Black Swan she's just chilling at the island. And she also, I mean, it's only a 40-point game. So 5 master with triple S speed, captain, and 3S cannons that's no slouch in a small game like this. So she'll be able to defend herself pretty well usually, even if the haulers can't keep her immune to shots. And of course, 5 mass with ram and board damage, she's not the easiest target for that either, because you'd have to roll a 6 on a ram to eliminate a mast if she has all mass up, and boarding could be tough. And I'm going to have extra crew to sacrifice via boarding, so even if I lose a boarding party, losing one of these smaller crew is not a big deal, especially if there's another oarsman on the island to just replace them with. So overall, it's a pretty good setup. I think it could be competitive. We'll see. I don't know if it's going to be any better than other UPS fleets, but for terrain, I put Fog Banks and Sargasso Seas, mostly to hide in case you need to, because it's just about getting gold. Black Swan, she does have a decent threat level, so she could be used offensively, but really this is more of a meta fleet. You're just trying to win, trying to get as much gold as quickly as possible. And Sargasso Seas, mostly because Black Swan is a 5 master, so she is almost immune to them, whereas the other fleets, they're probably going to have, I shouldn't say probably, but they might have 1 or 2 masters that are actually going out to get gold conventionally. So Black Swan is less likely to be slowed down by the seaweed. So anyway, I think I'll keep that coin distribution for now. Put that in the description. So 3 4s and a 3 for our other coins, and then save it, and that does it. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you in more videos. Feel free to check out the affiliate links to support the channel and Pirates with Ben, my website, and subscribe for more Pirates CSG videos.